Hello everybody, welcome to a brand new Let's Play series in Hearts of Iron for Kaiserreich. Today we are going to be playing as the German Empire. So, as Germany, you do start off with a pretty dominant position. You have most of Eastern Europe under our control, we have Flanders, Wallonia under our control, basically all of Africa, half of China, Germany's Asia. Everywhere is looking pretty solid, I would say. However, we do have some problems. Namely, where is it? We got some recovery rate going down. Recruit population is pretty bad. Figures in the Weltkrieg, land doctrine research speeds also pretty much in the garbage. So we got state of the economy, military expansion, naval plan, but I think we can safely ignore that for now. We're just going to go for field reconstruction. 25,000 manpower. I mean, we only have 1,000 manpower right now. That's not great. Organize the youth. Okay, that actually get rid of our 0.7% penalty, so you know what? Probably what we're going to want to go for. I mean, these are all 35 days. Extra research law would be excellent as well, but let's just go organize the youth, get rid of our negative 0.7% penalty here. Initial research slots, of course, we already got most of the beginning ones we want. Fantastic. So if you can tell from my voice, I am a little bit sick. I got a little bit of a tingle in the back of my throat. So hopefully it's not too noticeable, but bear with me. So how many factories do we have? 120 factories, mostly civilian, but I think a decent amount of these will just kind of get destroyed when the Black Monday hits. I'm not too sure. We're just going to build a bunch of military factories, basically just around here. Safe-ish away from France and also away from the Russians. We need to kind of worry about both those fronts. We'll see how the Russian front's actually going to play out. Because sometimes it doesn't really seem like Russia gets too involved with things. Gonna have purple. Okay, you guys underneath one field marshal. So blue's gonna be here. Wait, no. Purple's gonna be here. Blue, you are going to deploy mostly just like around here, so I can kind of steamroll straight to the Russian capital if I have to. Yes, you guys are gonna shrink just to be here. Everybody else who's not part of an army still needs to probably deploy you in like Belgium. Seems like an okay place for you to be. There we go. Sign a bunch of generals. And who else is not assigned? We got 2 divisions up here. You can be part of blue. 4 divisions. Unfortunately, that's a little bit too many. Are you the last guy? No, we got a handful of people just kind of around the world. But do I really care about keeping these colonies under our control? I'm not too sure, being completely honest with you. So you can be here. Djibouti, I think, is going to be important enough. The Suez Canal, I think, is definitely also going to be important enough. Is this 2 provinces? It is. We're going to deploy probably this 1 troop, and Morocco's going to go over here. Who else do we have? We have you and some people in Malta. Is Malta important? I'm actually going to have you guys just prepare for, like... It's going to sound a little bit odd. But I think just immediately preparing like a naval invasion from Malta into like Marseille could work out okay. And it's anybody else. We got 1 division here. We got you over here. I'm going to assign you to Orange. And I'm going to assign you to Orange. And where are you? You are in Madagascar. I don't care about Madagascar too much. We'll deploy you up to the north as well. So what are we missing right now? We are not missing anything as far as I can tell. We haven't begun trying to train up troops. So we're going to build, let's say, 5 more military factories here. Some more total artillery. Definitely going to want more support equipment. Definitely want more planes. More trucks, more light tanks, close air support, tactical bombers. Definitely some naval bombers. So we are going to need to want to bomb the English Channel into oblivion, more or less. Of course, we're also going to want a handful of convoys. We are going to want some improved dreadnoughts. We're going to want some fast battleships. Probably also like some destroyers and cruisers. I don't know what a Panzerschiff is, so I'm not going to click on it. So let's go for the cruisers here. And that seems a-okay for now. We do need more resources. I know we're doing like a lot of that's like a lot of management. Since the Black Monday is going to hit us in like a few months, I think, like March-ish. So Russia. Immediately try to push away to Petrograd and to this river. So something like that, I think, makes sense. Purple, your plan is basically going to be to push your way to this river down to Dijon. And you guys in pink are going to push your way to here. Basically trying to push your way into Paris. All of you are here. All of you are deployed to that front. So yeah, the army's more or less okay. Kerensky has been shot, but nobody's surprised by that. That's just how things are. We'll get our 50 Army and Navy experience for free. Constitution of the German Kaiserreich. After the crushing defeat of the Second French Empire by the forces of the North German Federation, our constitution was signed in 1871 by representatives of the Federation and 4 other states in southern Germany. The new constitutional framework integrated the southern states into the Prussia-led Federation, thus giving the enlarged entity the new identity of the Deutsche Reich. According to the constitution, the empire is a federation of 25 German states. The title of Federation President was held by the King of Prussia, a figure who now vested the title of Emperor of Germany. The Emperor directly appoints a Chancellor, a head of the government, the Chairman of the Bundesrat, the Council of Representatives of the German states. Laws are enacted both by the Bundesrat and the Reichstag, the lower house of the Imperial Diet, elected by male Germans above the age of 25 years. With the option to dissolve the Reichstag on a whim, it is clear that the main political power of the German Empire actually rests not in the Reichstag, elected by the people, but in the hands of the non-elected German Emperor. Another issue is that the Prussian 3-class voting system, which remained mostly unchanged since 1849. Over 60 years at the Federation of the Kaiserreich, the Liberals and Social Democrats are growing increasingly disgruntled. Status quo of our constitution may need to be revised soon to help us weather the upcoming turbulence. Zoom control the East German Navy. We will keep that in our back pocket. Because I don't know why we would need to do that. I mean, if we go to war with Japan, that's entirely possible. We don't know exactly what's going to be happening with Russia. They could either have the civil war, or, you know, they just go any of the other trees. The military dictatorship, Zanikov, which I've never seen. I've never seen the AI actually do that. Oh, thank you for Russia for your payments for the World War I reparations. And actually, Reich's building factories decently fast. So let's build some more factories over here. When is Black Monday? I think it's the 1st. Oh, it's right now, the 3rd of February. So, not great. We can't organize the youth because of the problems with the okay, apparently I have not been reading this. So the state of the economy, apparently it's very bad. So let's see if we can try to fix that ASAP. Communist France shows its true face. The Reds are clearly set to spread their poison, as they have demonstratedly shown last season of the election, so you must prepare for anything. Why, what did they do? I don't know what they did. The FUAD. The Free Aldebaran Union Deutschland, or the Free Workers Union of Germany, is an umbrella organization of several trade unions founded during the turbulent period in 1919 during the French Revolution. They repeatedly denounced the syndicalist terror and therefore have been allowed to operate unimpeded until now. Our intelligence services have produced definitive proof that the leaders are in contact with syndicalist organizations in other nations, just as the CNT-FAI in Spain. We also suspect that some of the Germans may be directly plotting against the Kaiser. Take no chance with those dastardly Reds. And hopefully, I mean, France can declare war on us. Will they do it? Yeah, I didn't think so. German citizens, panicked by the collapse of the Berlin stock market, are rushing to make bank runs to withdraw their assets. The bank cannot afford to yield such sums, and many are in danger of collapse. Many are clamoring for immediate government intervention to stabilize the upcoming and unprecedented financial crisis. Close the bank temporarily. Do nothing seems like probably the worst idea. Let's guarantee the holdings to private individuals. Probably seems like the best option we have now. Civilians have been elected to France. They're the ones who can have, like, the civil war, right? Not the civil war, but the Entente can intervene. I believe, at least. I'm pretty sure it's the Silurians. It's not the, I know it's definitely not the Jacobins, who are the other totalist faction. So I think it's these guys. We'll see. We'll see what kind of happens. I mean, I've never seen it happen itself. But you never know. So we need to just increase manpower as much as humanly possible, because we are not in a great spot with that. Control the East Asian Navy. Why that? Like, why not like Middle Africa? They're also a puppet state. Why not AOG? They're also a puppet state. Just East Asia, huh? We can see that the Viet Cong haven't risen up quite yet. They probably will soon. Democracy's been restored to Australasia. The Houtspark Terror. With a devastating economic situation, many families struggle to earn their daily bread, and the social security net is strained to the breaking point. In the recent weeks, the streets of many German cities have been increasingly terrorized by gangs of teenagers called these Harzbrack, steal products from the market and shop, and often money from innocent pedestrians, or commit acts of vandalism to escape boredom and frustration. Few citizens feel safe on the streets anymore, and it's clear that what some of the government might see merely as low-level civic disorder instead is the making of total social breakdown. Things aren't going well in Germany. Now the Rhineland is upset us with as well. The workers in the Rhineland are protesting against the recent anti-leftist actions of our government, especially with the scandalous crackdown on the FAUD, which many Rhineland citizens viewed as a legitimate institution of free and serious syndicalist, free of serious syndicalist influence and strong support for the working man. Okay, so France, you gotta stay out of this. There's nothing to do with you, even though you have significantly more troops on our border, which is not great. Let's organize the youth. We need to try to get some more manpower in the armies. The Pope's dead. Financial trouble in the colonies. 8% factories will work. Colonies for 365 days. Is it just an opinion bonus? The AOG will not like us, so I kind of think we need the AOG on our side. The AOG is really, really, really good, along with Middle Africa, at just naively invading everybody. I have no idea how they're so good at it, but they are. The agricultural crisis in Middle Europa. During the time of the Great Crisis, the complacent agricultural sector of the German economy has proven to be particularly vulnerable to economic downturn. With this in mind, several Junkers representing the landed nobility of the Kingdom of Prussia have asked for protection legislation and state subsidies for their agricultural production by imposing tariffs on foreign produce. We will strengthen this vital sector of the Reich's economy and protect our farmers. Unfortunately, such measures are likely to cause further damage to the economy of our neighbors, dependent as they are on German markets for their food exports. The wheat crop of Ukraine is particularly vulnerable. Choosing to enact these protection measures might seriously damage them and our other agrarian partners. I don't want anybody to leave our faction. I'm sure if we decide to cut off their exports, Ukraine probably falls to the total list under Khrushchev. The Reds are meeting to coordinate their activities, which is definitely, please stay out of here. Just go, France, Britain, Italy, just stay out of here. Do we know who's been elected here yet? No. We don't know who's been elected to Italy yet, quite yet. The Papal Conclave, which is... Who is that? Pope Pius VIII. Okay, just like a traditional pope. Nothing too crazy there. The unusual case has reached the highest course of German state anti-colonial activity. Jomo Chieta has been brought a class action lawsuit against the former Afrikaans Stalter Wilhelm Soff. The case has become something of an embarrassment, as many of the plaintiffs are veterans of the Weltkrieg. It cannot be easily dismissed. The claim that Soff's administration harmed them through policies of legal land seizures and even abduction and torture. All done with Soff's knowledge and little legal basis. Quietly, the Foreign Office has explained to the government that such things are common and necessary in our colonial administration. Strongly urge we caution the motion. I'm just trying to make sure everything doesn't fall apart. I might be choosing like the exact wrong options every single time. And I want to be surprised if that is the case. So... Okay, so we got another 10,000 manpower. This Commune of France is just being a real jerk about everything. I know that I have nothing to worry about the Austrians. There's really no way for them to go to war directly with us. Unless, you know, Italy declares war on like Two Sicilies, and Two Sicilies is in our faction. That's more or less the only way we can get to war with each other. I mean, I guess the Austrian Empire could like fall apart, and I think they can join up with Germany. But I've never really seen that happen. And they've gone for the Social Democratic path, which I mean, basically I think means that's never going to happen because Russia or Hungary shouldn't rebel under this situation. I might be wrong. Weekly stability minus 2%. I mean, but negative 23. It could always be worse, right? Remember, things could always be worse. Get the radio, or get the radar. Let's get our support equipment ready. Probably build like one radar station, like just right in Alsace-Lorraine. Try to, you know, keep our eyes on these, you know, the Frenchmen over here. And fantastic. So the strikers have caved, which was a negative 10% factory output. A little bit of political power. Greece seizes German assets. Thanks to the rippling effects of Black Monday, German investors who have held majority shares in Greek factories and mines. I mean, doesn't Greece do this also to Austria? No, we'll definitely sanction the Greeks. Who do they think they are? It probably means that they're going to join the Entente, but who cares? Disaster has the otherwise quiet little nation. Disaster has probably struck. It's probably missing in here. Disaster has struck the otherwise quiet nation of Costa Rica when the ZKG crashed hard on the Berlin Stock Exchange just for a few weeks, dragging the nation into the hole. I mean, sure, we'll give them some assistance. If we can get more countries in our, that's not Costa Rica, you're Costa Rica. If we can get, you know, just a handful more countries within the German sphere, I mean, that seems pretty good. Lately, there has been increased momentum in the women's suffrage movement, which seeks to force the government to enfranchise women by giving them the right to vote and stand for elected office. In these troubled times for the empire, we must be careful in formulating a policy response liable to cause domestic tensions. Granting the suffragists what they ask for may anger our more conservative elements of the government, particularly member of the Reichstag. I think we'll just give it to them. Surprise! Okay, so the United States, France, and Britain like us more. If it can maybe placate some people in our country, I think we should do it. Apparently that plus 20%, the plus 20 for women's suffrage did not make a big difference here. Unsurprisingly. However, I think this is going to be a good time to end this first episode. So thanks for watching my If you've enjoyed, give it a thumbs up. If not enjoyed, click thumbs down. Want to subscribe, and goodbye.